What's going on, TRACKUZA fam? GT-R Dan here. Let's stay positive, let's stay motivated. Hell yeah, guys. Today, we're going to be talking about the Emperor. We got 3 big issues on this car that we need to resolve, we need to troubleshoot, and we need to figure out what's going on. But first, hit that subscribe, hit that like button, hit the alert, and leave a comment, guys. Let me know what you guys think about this video and the channel as a whole. Be nice. We got some news coming up here. We have the TRACKUZA Dream video going to come out, so I'm going to let you guys know an introduction to TRACKUZA and what is TRACKUZA, what is it about, and what's our end game goal for the channel and the company as a whole. Also, the second big piece of news is the Wangan Runners Club. We are about to launch the Wangan Runners Club, where it's a simulator racing on the Satoka Revival using Assetto Corsa. We're going to be on Discord. We're going to be going throughout the whole entire thing. There's going to be a membership involved, and we're going to be doing a podcast live. We're going to do money pots. We're going to do all sorts of crazy stuff on there. So be ready for that when it comes out. It's going to be coming out very soon. I'm going to actually have a whole entire video just dedicated just to that. But let's get back to the Emperor. Guys, we have 3 big issues. Here's the 3 big issues. First, we have an exhaust leak. Second, we need to find out what spark plugs this car has. Third, we need to do an oil change. Those 3 problems. Now, going back to the problems. Now, the first problem that we have is the exhaust leak. I have a feeling I know where it's at, but I don't know exactly where it's at. We think it might be the wastegate dump. It might be loose, and that's where the exhaust, I can hear it. I don't see any exhaust leaks whatsoever on the car, but I hear it. Something's going on. We got to investigate. We got to figure it out. Second, we don't know the spark plugs that are in this car. It could be NGK. We don't know. I want to make sure that it's got the correct spark plugs in there, or upgrade them and make them better, and then find out what the heat range of this spark plugs. Now, we are running E85, so spark plug life kind of diminishes when you're running E85. So this video, we're going to be talking about what you should look for on a spark plug, what is the heat range, and then also what company you should go with spark plugs, my recommendations. Third of all, we got to do an oil change, and running 85, you kind of have to change the oil consistently. That's how I look at it. I like doing oil changes every 2,000 miles, but we're going to talk about that in this video, what oil I use for RBs, VRs, and so on. So stay tuned, guys. Let's get started. First thing what we're going to do is we're going to be ripping out this. We're going to rip out one spark plug out first, and then I want to check cylinder 1 and cylinder 6. I want to check those 2 spark plugs and then compare them together. Check to see if there's any consistency. I'm not going to rip out all the spark plugs at first because we have to figure out what spark plugs are in here, order them, get them here. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all the spark plugs out, clean everything real nicely. And you guys are going to see something about me that I'm very meticulous. I like to clean everything. I want to make sure everything is nice and perfect when we put everything back. But we're going to do a compression test first. Then we're going to put the new spark plugs in, figure out what the gap is as well, and then put them in there and be ready to go on that. Then second, we're going to be doing that in between the spark plug change and the thing, trying to figure out where this exhaust leak is, right? You don't want to do the exhaust leak test first, because then you get the engine hot and then you try to pull the spark plugs out, then you're going to be burning your hands. And then the oil change will be the last thing we do, because if I have to, worst case scenario, if I have to pull the turbo out, I can disconnect the lines. I have to drain the fluid anyways. So we got to do this within a week. We're going to try to knock this out. And this might be a long video, so bear with me, guys. But thank you so much again for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe. Make sure you hit that like and the alert button. Let's get started. Alright, guys, let me give you a quick rundown on the whole engine bay that we see here. This is a HKS 2.8 stroker kit, long block. It's got the VCAM in it, GT3 5G turbo, Hypertune manifold. The injectors are 2150 FIC, yeah, FICs. SARD fuel pressure regulator, which I'm not a big fan of. Evolve radiator swirl pot, which you really need this little thing here. We'll talk about that one day when we do the cooling on the car. One of the big upgrades that I want to do is replace all the fuel lines. As you can see there, this is actually rubber. I don't like rubber. I want PTFE lines, so it's better for E85 and it lasts a lot longer than rubber. Other than that, guys, there's pretty much you know, basic, nothing crazy. It's mostly motor, turbo, intake manifold, and then all the cooling aspects of this car. Alright guys, first thing we're going to do, this is cylinder 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, pretty self-explanatory. We're going to go ahead and pull this, break that free, pop that off, alright, and we're going to pull out this Hitachi coil pack. It's IGC0007. It's an Hitachi product, which Japanese like to use. You don't have to go fancy and spend $2,500 on coil packs. These will do just fine. Pop this guy off like so. Perfect. Just pop it right off like that. There's a spring in there. I'm going to make sure. Pull it out. A little bit of corrosion on there, so we're going to clean that out. We're actually going to clean all these. Put that back. Make sure, and there's a little bit of corrosion. I don't know if you guys can see that. Okay, interesting. And these are actually pretty cheap to get. They're not that expensive. There's the ignition thingamabobber, and then there's the spark plugs, and it looks like we got a little corrosion there. Okay, alright guys, so we pulled it out. Now it's time to pull the spark plug out. You want to get yourself a spark plug socket, get in there like so, make sure you have an extension. And one of the things I always tell everybody about spark plugs, just be careful how you break these free. You kind of want to just do it like snugly. This is really tight. You don't want to break the ceramic hat that's on top, like the little cylinder. So, you know, just take your time, work it out nicely, you know. And then once you get to a certain point, you could probably maybe just spin it. No, it's still tight. Could be a little bit of corrosion or something in there, but we're going to find out here in a minute. We're just pulling out one spark plug. We're not doing all of them because I want to see what spark plug's in here. We're going to check the gap, see what the gap's like, and go from there. Should be enough. Oh, came out. Perfect. Spark plug that I pulled out, and first thing I noticed, some little corrosion right there, right around there, a little greenness. I've been touching it, so just trying to see it, and so it's been coming off a little bit. So that's not good in a way. I mean, it's not too bad, but you're going to lose some contact with it. Now, I found out doing the spark plug, it's the NGK-R. And you can see it's a V power because of the tip that's right there. You can't really see it on the video, but it's a V. And the part number is BKR7E. This is a pretty typical spark plug. You can get it advanced, auto part, or AutoZone. So that's kind of a good thing in a way because it's accessible. You can get them here. It's always good to get stuff right out of the store. It's an NGK-R plug. Race means for racing. And as you can look here on the number, it says 7, so we know that the heat range is 7 on that. So typically it's about 5-6 heat range on normal, you know, on an OEM application. Now looking at the spark plug, it's not bad condition. I actually got that black stuff that's right there. That's me. That I did that by accident right there. But you can see there's a little bit of buildup right there, which is normal. It's just dirtiness. The plug looks good. There is a gap on there, and when I checked it, it looks like it's a 0.0. I'll show you guys real quick. So there it is. Camera zoom in a little bit there. but yeah, it fits in there perfect. It's a .021 millimeter, and yeah, so I'm gonna run to the store and grab a brand new set, and I'll compare these two, what it looks like new and what it looks like used after about, let's say, 3,000 miles. Alright guys, so here is the new plug. Here's the box, NGK, pretty generic, nothing crazy. BKR7E, heat range number 7, and this is the part number is 4644. So that's the box. Now here's the plug. We have the old one, which is gapped, as you can see there, and then you can see the gap difference. So there is a big difference in the gap. So we're going to have to gap these new plugs. But first I want to take out every single plug out first, lay them all out, take pictures, and check all the gaps on the original plugs, and then make sure that they are good on the new plug, and then install the new plugs, and also clean out the coil packs, because if you can see, I don't know if you see, there's a lot of corrosion right there. A lot of people kind of overstep this part, and this is what holds the, you know, you want to check the spring rate, make sure the spring is good. If not, replace the whole entire coil pack. Don't try to find another spring to put in there. And so that pushes the spring, the power on there, so it connects like this, right? And inside the coil pack, and then here's the arm that goes in there. You want to make sure there's no debris or anything stuck in there, and then you just kind of want to clean that out a little bit so that this has a nice good contact, so it has the connection's perfect. So we're going to do that. We're going to check all the coil packs, and then of course we're going to check all the spark plugs. So let's pull out all the spark plugs out and lay them all out and see what they look like. Here we go. There it is. This is cylinder 1, the one we took out. Look at that. This is cylinder 4. What in the world is that? See the tip difference? Guys, we got a special guest here, Mr. Alberto from Mr. Hollius. No, like Holly, the company, like a real company. And he's helping me out with the old spark plugs here. So check this out. I wanted to show you guys this. So we got some dielectric grease. We're putting them on the tips to clean them up. We actually cleaned per the last video, the last part of the video. We cleaned them up. We're putting them on real nicely, so you can see we're putting them a little bit on there, so it juices it up. And then where's the yeah. Put a little bit on there. Put it there. Clip it in. Bam! Now it's going to be good. It's not going to be getting corrosive like it did before. You're good to go. And then.
Nothing crazy, just a little dab.
By the way, guys, this is a P1 McLaren clutch used, not a new one. I wish it was new. I would sell it, but
money.
Yeah.
I need money.
Cool. All right, and now we got the new spark plugs. We gapped them, so they're at .021. We got them gapped. They're all ready to go. We're gonna drop them in. Let's go. All right, TRACKUZA fam, it's the next day. We swapped out the spark plugs. They were pretty bad condition. Thank God I swapped them out. I took the car for a little spin. The car drives way better. It's a lot better now.
I'm going to add a couple things to this video, the fuel system. We're going to talk about that right now.
All right, guys, I wanted to show you real quick how the fuel system set up on the Emperor, and how what the benefits of PTFE lines versus regular rubber lines are, and talk about what we're going to do to increase power or increase the fuel flow, how we're going to cut down on the heat of it, and all that stuff. So let's look at this beautiful drawing that I just made with my artistic skills on Microsoft Paint. Let me just go through this real quick. We have this box, this circle right here is just representing a fuel tank. We have the 2 fuel pumps right there, ED5 sensor, FPR, which is fuel pressure regulator, fuel filter, the engine, these sticks right here are the injectors, and that's the fuel rail. Sorry for my artistic skills. All right, so we're going to take gray. Gray is going to represent the rubber lines that's on there right now. We have a little rubber line here. We're going to do green for hard lines. That's what's like the OEM that comes from factory. It's old, decrepit, but that's what they have. So how it happens, it goes from the fuel tank out, right? It goes underneath the car, and then it goes up to firewall, and it comes up to the fuel filter. Okay, now this car has a rubber line here. It has another little rubber line here. Yellow is going to be fittings. We have, and these are hose clamps. These are worm clamps right here, okay, which I don't like, especially with high pressure shit. I don't like that. There's a T-fitting up here. I don't like that either. I don't use T-fittings on any fuel systems. There's a reason for that. Then we have, we'll do AN here, AN line here, a fitting. Then what happens is we have a rubber line that goes all the way to the fuel rail here, and fitting here, and fitting here, and of course we have another line going here. The flow of the fuel is going in this direction. Sorry. Okay. This is the feed line on the RB, and honestly this is how it should be on your car too. Okay, you can add a check valve to this depending on your car, how vapor locking is acting up on your car or whatnot, but you can put a check valve on this. But for this example, we're just showing this is how it's set up. Okay, and the maroon is for AN fittings that's connected to it. Actually, I don't even think there is AN fittings on this. Right here, it's just a rubber. It's just worm clamps right there. Okay, so this is how the feed line set up. Now, let me finish the circuit. There's a fitting here. Okay. There's the AN fitting there. It goes out to the fuel pressure regulator to the E85 sensor, and then the E85 sensor line goes out here, then back into a hard line, and then rubber line back into the tank. Guarantee you, there's a worm clamp here, worm clamp here, worm clamp here, 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 here. And this is a plastic fitting here, and then this is how the setup. This is how the Emperor set up. Okay, which I think is shit. Now, is this the right routing? Yes, it is. But there's an issue with this. You ready? What do you see wrong with this picture? I'll let you comment. Put a comment below if you think this is correct, right? No, this is not correct. All right. You're having very small lines feeding a -6 and I don't know what the diameter is. Off the top of my head I forgot. But it's literally a bigger line up here. Okay, you're not going to get, it's pretty restricted lines, pretty restricted setup on this whole thing. And on top of that, they're rubber lines. They're not made for E85. You're having worm clamps. These are all areas of failure that can fail. Everything here can dry rot and go to shit. We're going to prevent that from happening, right? This is how I'm going to set up the Emperor. Let me just undo all this. So remember, we have the hard lines, right? We're going to knock out we're going to take out all the rubber lines out and all the fittings. The T fittings gone, the rubber line there, and we're going to wipe out, we're going to remove all the hard lines from the car. Now, back to it having no connections. Now, we're going to do PTFE lines. PTFE lines are going to be represented with like a baby blue color. All right? AN fitting, AN fitting, right? We're going to have a line going all the way to that. Another fitting there. Here. Now we're going to do a Y fitting instead of a T fitting. We're going to run this to the back. We're going to run this to the front. New fitting. New fitting. The yellow is representing a new fitting, right? Fitting, fitting. This one, we're not using OEM anymore. We're doing a high flow fuel filter. Okay? We're going to upgrade the fuel filter. AN line, probably a 90. Connected to the fuel pressure regulator, which we are using a SARD one, which I want to get rid of. We're probably going to put a high flowing fuel filter regulator on it, and then we have to retest it, do the right PSI. Then goes to the E85 sensor, comes back down, back into the tank, recirculating, right? Now, flow rate, flow rate, flow rate, or flow rate. It's flow direction, not flow rate. Sorry about that, guys. And then, okay, this is how it flows. It comes here, splits off into a Y, it goes there. Now, sizes. I'm going to run an 8 here on this line. This line is going to be a 6. This is going to be a 6. This is going to be a 6. Or, better yet, depending on where I locate this, this is going to be an 8 right here. And this is going to be a 6, 6, 6. A lot better way of doing it. Okay? Now, we're also this line see the little orange? That, the little orange ticks that I made on the lines, that is a heat sleeve. We're going to heat sleeve all those lines. So it's protected inside the engine bay. You see the pattern, what I'm trying to do here? You're going to keep the heat out of the fuel lines. You don't want any heat coming in there. Power goes up. Cool, right? That's going to be heat sleeved. From the back and the bottom of the tank and the back of the stuff, don't have to worry about it. It's okay. It's going to be outside. It's going to be perfectly fine. But everything you see right there, it's going to be covered in heat wrap, like a heat sleeve. You put the line through it and it protects it. That's a beautiful way of doing a fuel system. Okay, you're protecting the fuel from getting hot. You're running PTFE, so you can run E85. You're running bigger lines in the feed line, and you're breaking it down to a -6 so that it has perfect flow going to front and rear part of the fuel rail. You're having a -6 back out, so on and so forth. Perfect. Now, what is a PTFE line? Bam, right there. It's on front of your front of your face, right here. What's a PTFE line? There it is. You have 3 layers that consist of a PTFE line. You have the nylon braided section so that it protects from the metal, the stainless steel wire mesh, so that if something hits it, or if you hit the valve cover or the piping, intercoolant pipe, it doesn't scratch the shit up. It protects it, right? The stainless steel wire mesh enhances the reinforcement of the line so that you could take a knife to it and do this and you won't be able to penetrate it. You could maybe stab it, might work, but why would you do that, right? And then you got the PTFE line that's inside, which is pretty much plastic, a plastic line. It's very high resistant. It goes up to like 500 Fahrenheit versus a rubber line only does like 200, 250 Fahrenheit. It is more money. It's more expensive, but it's more resistant to chemicals, odors. You're not going to get as much odors coming through, so on and so forth. So that's pretty much it, guys. Put a PTFE lines on your car instead of using rubber lines. Especially if you're using E85, it's going to be a world of difference. But that's how you do it, and there you go. Back to your regular scheduled program.
Now, the second part of this, spark plugs are good. They're in, they're gapped, brand new, NGK V-Power. They're good to go. The exhaust leak. I actually found the exhaust leak. Let me show you guys where it is, but you can't see it because, well, I kind of technically have a little mirror, but it's pretty janky. My other mirror broke, my mechanic's mirror broke, but let me show you where it's at. It's pretty bad. So I'm using one of my wife's like little cheap mirrors that she like didn't want anymore, but I don't know if you can see it. This is cylinder 1 exhaust pipe. You can kind of make it out. Let me see, right behind. You see that? I don't know if you guys can see it too well, but it's right there. If you can see where the weld is, it's right on top of it. I'll try to highlight it here. I don't know if you can see it, but there's the exhaust leak. So that's not good. So there's the exhaust leak on that pipe right there. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to remove all this out. The intercooler piping, intake piping, that heat blanket, I think it's DEI. I'm gonna throw that in the trash, put a Funk Motorsports one on there from the UK. Take the down pipe off, unwrap the titanium exhaust wrap, redo it because I didn't like the way Garage Source did it, so I'm gonna do it my way. We have to replace the turbo manifold gasket off there. This is a V-band in here, but there might be a fire ring underneath the turbo on the hot side, of course, and we got to check that out. Wastegate's coming off. I'm going to check the wastegate, check all the rubber lines, make sure that everything is heat sleeved, good to go. And we're going to start that when we get to start accumulating parts before I take this thing apart, because I actually want to make it so that it's drivable. And for now, because you can still turn it on, you can drive it, you just can't go into boost because that crank's just going to keep getting worse. So eventually what I'm going to do is I'm thinking about replacing the manifold, or I can maybe just for now get it re-welded by one of my pro fucking fabricator guys that I know. He's really good at doing stuff like this and making it even stronger than what it is, and then later on probably do a ceramic coating on the manifold gasket to seal everything up real nice, put it back in there, and everything should be working great. Do a log after that, make sure everything is good, do even a smoke test to make sure there's no other leaks anywhere else, and we're going to be good to go. I'll probably do some polishing there to clean this up, but that's it, guys. So there you have it, guys. Now I just need to plan it all out, find out how much money everything is going to cost, order everything. I'll be posting it on my Instagram page, on my stories, if you guys want to check it out and the update on this video. But if you like what you see, guys, and you want to see the next steps, hit that subscribe, hit that like, hit the alert button. Let me know what you think about this. If you have any ideas you think I should do. I've been doing this for a very long time, over 20 years, building RBs, VRs, so on and so forth. But I'm always got open ears, man. So let me know what you guys think, and I guess I'll see you on the next video that I come out with. This is part 1. There's gonna be a part 2 whenever we get all the parts and everything like that, so we can get this done, and I'll show you that process as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.